And our next guest has been on the ultimate hot streak, the reigning queen of summer beach reads. Emily Henry has captivated readers with heartwarming and hopeful romance novels, releasing a new book every year since 2020, and all 5 have become New York Times bestsellers. Her novels, Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, Happy Place, are now her newest addition, Funny Story, have all taken the TikTok hashtag Book Talk by storm, making Emily one of the biggest authors on the platform with over 11 million posts related to her books. Take a look.
I just finished Emily Henry's upcoming book, Funny Story, and it is very good.
In the first 15 pages, you're like, damn.
I never thought that any female main character could possibly top Harriet from Happy Place, but Emily Henry outdid herself with Daphne.
I've been saying it feels like all the best parts of all 4 of her other romances congealed into one book.
Fake dating is my favorite book trope, and that is now even more accurate now that Emily Henry has done it.
It is a very, very funny book, like maybe her funniest, and it is also very hot.
Emily, if you keep raising the bar like this, we'll find ourselves in heaven. So please, pipe down. Don't, though.
Stand back. Please welcome 5-time New York Times bestselling author, Emily Henry! Congratulations! If you keep raising the bar, we're all going to be in heaven. That's what one person said.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Doesn't sound so bad. I mean, talk about a moment after. The first thing I want to ask you, since 2020, a book every year, right? What drives you?
Oh my gosh. I think having the worst little sister complex in the entire world was the start of it. You know, I'm just always trying to prove myself. But also, my first book came out right at the start of the pandemic. Yeah. The world was so bleak, so scary. And it felt like this gift that I was able to give the world, in a way, which isn't usually how writing feels for me. It usually feels so personal, and that book was very personal. It was my bright spot in a very dark time. And seeing it be the same thing for readers was so rewarding, and also made me feel like I have a sense of purpose that I hadn't necessarily had with my writing before that.
I love that. And your sense of purpose has given people so much joy, I have to tell you. Funny Story, I love that you talk about the flip side of romance, that it's sometimes those awkward moments, it's sometimes those bad situations that turn into the best stories.
Yeah, completely.
And that's what we see here.
Yeah.
With the whole premise of fake dating, you understand? I think that's such a genius turn here. Take us into when you're creating this particular story and where we are.
Yeah, so the story is about Daphne and Miles, who have both just been dumped by their serious significant others / fiancés for each other.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they wind up living together. They don't really have anyone else to rely on, and they have this unlikely friendship, and then think why not make our exes a little bit jealous by faking this relationship? Yeah, but it was really kind of coming from the fact that I love romantic comedies, and we see a lot of these friends to lovers stories where over many, many years, these two people finally find their way to each other. And a lot of times there are significant others who get kind of shed along the way. And I was always really fascinated with those people. I wanted to see what happens for them. How do they pick up the pieces?
I love the modern tone of it as well. I mean, obviously you're very young, so you're writing from your perspective and that of your friends, including when you're on social media or you're looking at pictures of your exes, or you're trying to catch up to find out. And we have a scene there where she's looking and she sees this picture of her ex with his new girlfriend and his family. And she's
brutal.
Brutal. It's brutal.
Well, and do you remember when Facebook launched its relationship status thing? And it was so terrible because it'd be in a relationship with Emily Henry, and then that day change, and now it's in a relationship with, I'm not gonna say anyone's name, but then you're at high school, everybody knows about my breakup. I'll never be happy again.
Yeah. How do you process the fandom? I mean, my team, we do 173 shows a year, biggest celebrities in the world. We're so lucky. Each person brings their own thing. But it was sheer pandemonium the minute you said, oh, I can come on. Your fan base really relates and identifies with what's going on in the pages of these books?
I feel so connected to them. Like, I think writing is a very isolated, kind of lonely experience, and you always feel like you're putting your own heart on the page, and you don't know until it's out if anybody else is going to say, I see myself in that. And every single time I put out a book, I'm so worried specifically how the female narrator will be perceived, because we're very hard on women.
Yeah.
And I'm just endlessly floored by like the emotional generosity, I would say, of my readers. They come to these women ready to love them, even though they're flawed, even though they make mistakes, and they want to see themselves in them. They want to see themselves as complicated, imperfect people who are still deserving of love, because we are.
Let me tell you, you write beautifully, but you tell a story just sitting here to be like, I'm like hanging on to every word. Tam Fam, Funny Story is available now wherever books are sold. And guess what? Emily, sending you home with